What advice would you give to parents watching that go through such a horrific loss? How do you cope?
I'd say just keep the people that you love close, and just love each other and be there for each other. And
she was also a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority. Her freshman year, Maddie met her boyfriend, Jake Schreiger. The couple dated for 2 years.
Maddie was my best friend. She was the first person I talked to every morning and the last person I talked to before bed.
So tell us about that night.
So I was at the theater watching a movie, and I got a couple calls, one from my mom and then one from Karen, and they were right back to back. And so I took the call, and my mom just said, "You have to come home, come to her house," and didn't tell me anything else. And so the worst things came to my head, but it still wasn't as bad as what it ended up being. But I'll obviously never forget that night. But I spent the rest of the night just with my family, just trying to make some sense out of this. And it's just horrific. I hope no one ever has to go through something like that.
You're wearing an angel wing necklace with Maddie's name on it. Tell us the story about the angel wing.
Innocent until. What's going on, man? It's 3:36 in Miami, 78 degrees, kind of sunny, but also kind of chilly. It's crazy to me that it can be chilly while it's 78 degrees. I wonder if that has anything to do with. Never mind. Shout out to y'all. I hope it is well with you wherever you are at. I got a few rambling comments, man. I appreciate the feedback. I'm not sensitive, man. Like I was telling a few people on Twitter, man, please don't preference, your disagreement with me. You have a different point of view. Like I'm not, internet. I'm not these new age people, man. Like say what's on your mind, man. I prefer respectful people, but definitely just say what's on your mind, man. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff that I would like to share with you guys about myself, but sometimes I feel like yes, sometimes I feel like no. But definitely, man, I'm not with all of that. When people say stuff like, I'm not arguing with you, I'm not this and you don't have to preface the fact that you have a different perspective than me, man. Say what's on your damn mind. We're adults. I wish more people would act like that. I was thinking, man, that some people, I didn't post this, but I was going to post it in my other group, my other platform, that, some people avoid the gender conversation like people avoid, race, religion, and political conversations. And I don't think we should avoid any of them. I think we should engage them like adults, not like kids who don't know how to act when they can't get their way. Damn, Ben. I ain't even gonna lie, man. This right here, me up. I'm talking about this interview, me up. So let me get, the BS out of the way first. And it's not much. So I'll just say there were times in the interview when I could tell that the media company, the interviewer, and his team, they were looking for moments. Now, I observe people, man. I read people, places, and things, situations. That's just how I navigate through life. So I saw this, There were times when they were like, hey, I'm not even talking about when they were like, hey, stop the mic. Stop talking right now, so we can get the mic adjusted. Obviously, we want good audio like we're talking about, in the courtroom with the hearings and the trial. If we live to see it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like at the end when they were like, hey, they had him outside holding a picture of Maddie, And obviously maybe that could have been his idea, but I'm speaking from a vantage point of I've been in these situations when the media, they want a shot, they want a moment. There were other moments when the dude was like, hey, Ben read the card, and the interviewer was like, do we need to get him to read that again? We're gonna, I'm gonna talk about that, but that's all the foolishness that I have. And maybe I'm being too harsh, but I'm just too straightforward of a person to to be in any serious situations, just trying to get a moment out of it. And maybe I'm wrong for that. Maybe those moments do create things that would be beneficial for mankind, but I just don't like that. I'm more Ben. Ben seemed to be there as himself, and I like that, man. So if you are unaware, if you don't watch the title, you don't read the title, we're about to talk a little bit about Maddie and her father, his interview that he did with this news station, and just her family and friends all around. And let me get into my notes. I may be able to breeze through them eloquently, man. The first thing I want to say, man, is this dude's strength to me is amazing, man. Not only did he sit down and talk about his daughter for 30 minutes, it was his idea to go back to one of the last places that him and his daughter spent time together to do this, man. The interviewer said, well, hey, you suggested that we come to this Starbucks. I'm sorry, that's another gripe that I have, man. We not Starbucks. I'm mad I ain't got my coffee right now. We don't do Starbucks, man. We Panera Bread. Shout out to Panera Bread, man. Down with Starbucks. If you team Starbucks, down with you. But more seriously, man, the interviewer said, yeah, man, you suggested that we come here. Why? And that's when Ben told us that, this was one of the last places that him and his daughter were able to spend time together. For me, it's a direct contrast in how you would see the Chapins dealing with it. You know what I mean? Where they seem to be the family that want to move past, if not necessarily own from the memory of the tragedy, the horror of the tragedy. Ben, in certain instances, says things that align with that, but at the same time, he says things like this: let's meet at the last place that I spent time, one of the last places I spent time with my daughter at. So there are definitely things in which he wants to hold on to. And I'm trying to tell you, man, you can't remember your loved one, especially if it's your child, in a situation like this without remembering why you are even remembering them in this sense. Which means every time he's thinking about his daughter, no matter how far it may be in the back of his mind, he's remembering that his daughter was slain in a horrible way. I often talk about the contrast between fathers and mothers in these situations. We are brainwashed with this idea as men, as fathers, that we're supposed to be the primary protectors and providers. I have an alternative view of that. I won't get into it, but I just want to reiterate, as men and fathers, we are brainwashed, and people will say, you don't know how it feels to be a mother in this situation. You're right. And likewise, you don't know how it feels to be a father who's been told one of your primary duties is to protect your loved ones, specifically your kids. And you didn't do that. Whether it was your fault or not, like, there's something that sits with you that, hey, man, it makes you feel like I should have been there. I should have been able to protect, even from a distance, and I didn't do that. And because of that, my child suffered one of the most horrendous fates possible. Like, it is crushing. And along with the fact that you're already missing your child, man. So for that man to be able to not only sit there and talk about his daughter, but to revisit places where they shared time, moments where they shared time. For me, I'm watching that as a man, and I'm knowing, like, yo, if I had kids, I would feel this way, I would feel this way. I have to admire the strength of his ability to even sit there and do that, because damn it, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I probably would have been breaking down the first 60 seconds. I'm just finna be real with you, man. I know I talk tough. I talk, like a man's man, but I didn't watch certain movies and started crying, man. This right here, damn it, the interview broke my heart. It's not even my daughter. Shit was crazy. So that's one of the first things that stuck out to me, man. Praise God, the strength that this father has, man. I'm going to talk more about that, but I'm just going to get to my next note. I was kind of wondering, is this when Steve G and Stacy G say, hey, yeah, we are in communications with the other families, are they talking about Ben? Because I'm also wondering, where is Maddie's mom? Because even, I just watched a clip, of Maddie's mom and stepfather at the memorial. I think that was at the school, and it was Steve, her stepdad, that was speaking.
I've called him man Steve twice. I think we all know Maddie's mom, Karen's husband's name is Scott, not Steve, so I apologize.
And mom was just right there holding him. I love that picture. She was holding him, not contrast to Stacy just taking up the conversation. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more later too, Lord willing. And like that separation between her and Jim. No, Maddie's mom was holding her stepfather while he was the one actually speaking about their, daughter, which wasn't his blood daughter, I found that very beautiful. But then I also looked to see, and maybe I just didn't find it in research enough, where were the interviews of Maddie's mother speaking? Because I did want to hear what she had to say. But yeah, man, it was just, is that who Steve and Stacy are talking about when they see they're speaking to the other families? Because I did get the impression from Ben, man, that he's very easygoing. This is an impression. This doesn't mean this is who this man is. But that he's very easygoing and probably someone that any one of the family members could reach out to. I wouldn't be surprised to find out Ben would be a mediator between all of them, because the Chapins seem to want to be over here and stay over here for their reasons, whatever they may be. We know the G's, they're full speed ahead. We got Maddie, and we got, who the hell am I forgetting? How remiss am I right now? We got Ethan, we got Maddie, we got Kaylee, and then we got Zayna. And then we've heard spurts from Zayna's mom. I don't know a lot about Zayna's dad. Maybe that's something else I need to look into. But out of everybody, he seemed to be the one that's most balanced. Like, hey man, I can be the mediator between us if that's necessary. Like, I can see everybody's side, you know what I mean, in this. So I'm just wondering, when the Gonzalez, however you say their name, y'all know I'm halfway not there, when they say, hey, we are in communication with the other families, is this who they're talking about? And could it also be Karen, Maddie's mom, as well? So I'm also wondering if they are close, the G's and, Maddie's family, or if they aren't. It would seem that their daughters being so close since the 6th grade, and every one of them attest to that. Besides Karen, Maddie's mom, I haven't heard much from her. Nothing at all, to be honest with you. But I'm pretty sure she would too. It doesn't seem like they're making that up. Wouldn't it be almost impossible for the families not to have some type of relationship and regard? I remember the G saying that when they first were friends, Kaylee and Maddie, there was an incident about, maybe them sleeping over each other's houses, and then the parents, I can't remember if the idea came from the G's or Maddie's parents, but like, nah, we need to meet each other. Like, I need to know who my child's going to be around. So I just wonder if they're close, what kind of relationship they have. It would seem like it would be impossible for them not to be connected, not at the hip, but almost at the hip if their daughters were that close, you know what I mean? So there's that. I was wondering about him. I was watching him the whole time, because you guys pointed out some things when I did the Chapins interview that made me remember. Once again, here we go with the word remiss. I didn't watch them enough, especially with my profession to be a reader of people. I more so listened to that interview. I did watch it, but I more so listened than watched the body language of the Chapins, father and mother, husband and wife. And so when I, published the video, some of the comments that you guys made me realize that I didn't watch it enough, and made me realize by not watching it I missed some things. So I was watching him, and I was waiting on his personality to prevail, you know what I mean, to bloom throughout the interview, and it did. And one of the things that I was watching for is any connections he has, because number one, I was wondering, why are you there alone? Now, I don't have a problem with you being there alone. As much as fathers don't get to speak, damn it, I'm an advocate for, damn it, just let the father have a moment, right? You know what I mean? A man who's willing to express himself, which Ben clearly was. But it was still in the back of my mind, like, why are you there alone? And then he did mention, like, I have a wife, I'm married. And so I was wondering, like, just a wonder, guys. No conspiracy here, no, ill will or intentions or projections, none of that. No suspicions, no nothing. But if you are, you have a wife, I am wondering, like, why wasn't your wife on camera? Now, she very well could have been there in the background or something, but that's just something that popped up to me, like, why his wife wasn't there. But it also gives us like a very real time look into just how people are different, guys. And I think we forget that sometimes. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. Refer to what I said in the beginning of the video, man. Speak your damn mind, because I'm going to, right? But notice I always try to be respectful. So I would encourage you to do that, but just speak your damn mind. And I'm about to here, guys. I don't necessarily like some of the accusations that are being hurled at Stacy, right? Some of the specific ones, because damn it, I got some deep questions about her now. And if you haven't watched my last video about the Chapins, it's the one before this one. I got more coming, Lord willing. But it's the one before this one. Go watch it. I got some real questions based on the comments that y'all had. They were some very interesting comments and fair comments. But you could see the contrast, man, and how these people are different. And y'all are accusing Stacey because she's saying, hey, man, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And, we're going to move on and et cetera, et cetera. Well, my gripe with her is that it seemed that she was implying the we's were actually her ideas. And she was just saying it was we because she knew it was inappropriate for her to just be saying I all the time. I mean, you could literally, this ain't nothing I'm making up. Go watch their interview. You could literally hear her say, the interviewer would ask the Chapin something, and Stacey would eye it up, and she would catch herself. She would say, I mean we. She did it multiple times throughout the entire interview. So this is a woman that has to be reminded that it's not all about her, right? That's my gripe with her. Your entire family, including Ethan's father, lost someone. Not just you, Stacey, not just her mom. That's my gripe. But the way some of you guys are just cordoning her off and saying that if she isn't handling it like you will handle it, like she sent her kids back to the school, why would you send your kids back there? Damn it, I might not send my kids back there either. But do we know that it wasn't her children's request to go back to the school? Some people want to be in their comfort zone, i.e. Ben, when the interviewer said, hey man, can we meet up, and where would you like to meet up, which I think was very considerate and compassionate. Ben himself chose a place that him and his daughter had been to, right? And I understand they weren't murdered at a Starbucks or at that Starbucks, but the murder is very central to the school, so I get the contrast there. But I'm just saying, guys, like, just because people don't handle things the way that we would or the way that we would like to, damn it, it don't make them wrong. And some of y'all just sound high-minded the way that you are adamantly implying that people don't have to live the lives that you think they should live. And I've always been puzzled when people imply that or assert that, because I've never found anyone who thinks like that admits that they would allow someone else to come in and tell them how to live their life. So what if Stacey Chapin said to you, if something happened to your kids, hey, you need to let them go back to the place where the tragedy occurred? Would you allow her to tell you, or would you be like, no, I'm going to make my own damn decision? And I don't know if some of you have had the grief. I'm pretty sure my audience is adults, so I'm pretty sure all of us know what it feels like to lose something. I don't know the way some of you talk, if you had the grief that would smother you. And even if you have, maybe you are Stacey Chapin. Maybe you're Steve Gonzalez and Christy Gonzalez, not Stacey, I'm sorry. Maybe you're Ben. Maybe you can go back to these places. Maybe that's where you draw your strength from. But the idea that everybody has to be like you, and some people don't realize, like, yo, I need to go on and move past this so I can say, listen, man, you're not supposed to die just because your loved ones pass away, even if they're murdered. That's not God's will. If it was, I'm pretty sure that's what would occur. So if drowning in the grief of your loved one passing away, even if it's through murder, would kill you, why wouldn't you fight for life? If you love someone, if you're the one that's murdered, if I'm murdered and drowning in my murder would murder the people who are alive to mourn me, my loved ones, I would say, I love you. No, move on. Remember me in a way that's healthy for you. So this idea that Stacey doing certain things is just wrong, I'm just disagreeing with y'all vehemently there. We don't know these people well enough to know, like, damn it, I can see it sometimes, even in the way she talks, that it's very possible that this woman is just running from the tragedy. Her son was murdered. I don't expect her to handle, I don't know you well enough to know or inflect upon you how you should handle it. I just have a problem with you making it all about you. And you do that consistently. So even if that's your, navigational tool to get through this, I even get that. I just wish that something in you would realize, other people were affected horribly by this tragedy, namely a father, namely siblings. And maybe the way that I'm getting through it is harmful to them and inconsiderate to them. That's all I'm saying. But I just don't like people in any regard, whether it be dealing with death or what we're going to eat tonight, just because you handle certain things. It's not a monopoly for how everybody else alive needs to handle certain things, including tragedy, guys. Like, step back a little bit and just ask yourself a very rational ass question. Are you going to allow anybody to come and dictate how you live your life, where you put your furniture in your car, in your house? I know the hell you're not. Stop it, bro. Stop it. That's just ridiculous. I don't mean to insult you or be disrespectful, but it's ridiculous. Is it fair to ask certain questions based on how people move and operate? Yes, I think it is fair. But damn it, to act like it's just ultimately and inarguably wrong and our opinion is just right because we feel a way. Nah, that's not how life goes, man. People have a right to live life how they want to. And when it comes to tragedy, man, people need to be able to get through it the way they get through it. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line on that. But once again, I think watching how Ben is handling this, he's doing the interview by himself. Certain things he's remembering, certain things he doesn't want to remember. He talked about, how he keeps up with the case. He doesn't watch the news. He doesn't keep up with social media, but he stays in contact with the prosecution's office. It's hard to see Brian's face. He said all of that. It's hard to look at this dude. But he also said, when the interviewer asked him, what does justice look like in this case? He could have easily said some of the things that Stacey G, I keep confusing their names, that Christy G said. That, I just know Brian is guilty, so off with his head. While he said it's hard to see Brian's face so he doesn't look at the news like that, he also didn't say off with his head when the interviewer asked him, what does justice look like? He says, it's hard to answer that question. I don't know how to. This is a balanced man here. And he's also giving us a balance when you look at him. When you look at, bringing in even Maddie's mom and her stepdad. When you look at how Christy and Steve are handling it. When you look at how Ben and Stacey are handling it, guys. It just points to the fact that something I've already hit on. And I'm not a rocket science here, guys. It's what we already know. People are different, man. Everybody's handling things different in the ways that they think are best for them. The only thing I think is when you don't stop to ask yourself, am I doing the best that I can do? Sometimes in any given situation, especially horrible tragedy where your child was murdered and the case is as yet unresolved, sometimes, man, your best may be the absolute wrong thing to do, but it's all you got right now. I'm just being honest with you. You ever been in that position in life, it all perfect people? Like we're accusing Stacey of being, we're going to get to that, Lord willing. We're going to get to that because I think y'all got some points. I just think y'all acting like because you have an opinion, that makes your point absolutely valid. That's where you veer. But have you ever been there where you yourself knew your best sucked? But you also knew this is what I have right now, and you just needed someone next to you, and maybe you were fortunate enough to have someone or several people next to you to say, hey, that's good enough. We got you from here. I'm just trying to find balance in all of this because y'all asked some very fair questions about the Chapins, while at the same time, I think y'all made some very unfair accusations because you're accusing them of being ass wrong because they're not handling things the way that you dictate things be handled. I can't rock with that. Once again, this point is just watch all of these families being included. It's just more verification that people are different. We all know this. Hell, he was kind of, an oxymoron to himself sometimes where he you sitting at the restaurant, you brought the Father's Day card, but then you don't even want to watch the news to keep up with the case. You keep up with the case sporadically through the prosecutor's office, who hell, I wouldn't trust with a sore thumb. So, is he wrong for that? Is he culpable for that? Is he somehow involved in a conspiracy for that? For only keeping up with the case through the prosecutors, who most of us don't even trust unless you're a Brian Nader? Oh, man. Just thinking out loud. Feel free to express yourself and disagree, man. We're adults. Like I said about the gender, race, religion, politics thing. I'm the kind of adult, I don't think we should run from those conversations. I think we should engage them like we grown. What kind of adults can't talk to each other? You may be an adult, but you're thinking like a child. In my estimation, what can't we talk about? We're adults. You ain't talking about shooting me, killing me, none of the horrendous things. We just have conversations but we've made them difficult to get through. I don't think the conversations are necessarily difficult to get through. We've made them difficult to get through because, like how the Chapins are handling things, we have this agree with us or else mentality. It's bullshit because we not gonna let nobody bring that to us. Once again, who are you gonna let come to you and say agree with me or else? Nobody. You're gonna make up your own damn mind. And what in the hell is wrong with you that you forget everybody, especially adults, have the right to do the same thing? Come on, man, relax. Calm your ass down. Are you high? I love y'all. Gotta get on your ass when you're wrong, though. I expect you to get on mine. That's what we're here for. We're not here to coddle each other. We're here to see each other progress and be good, the best people we can be in life. And sometimes that involves telling each other, man, you done lost your damn mind. Calm your ass down. Shorty said in the comments, I like how you have, this dual conversation with yourself in your videos where you be thinking something and then you'll correct it. Yeah, hell yeah, because sometimes I can see to correct myself. Sometimes you will be able to see to correct yourself. Sometimes you need an outside entity to tell you, calm your ass down. You're acting like you high. I don't want to say why is the mom silent, but I wrote this damn note down, man. Shout out to Karen. I done did pretty damn well. Now watch me start messing up and stumbling all over the place. Sips of water because I ain't have my damn coffee ready. Y'all go check out Evil CJ, man. CJ, if you watch this video, man, I don't say the things I say about you, man, though. Butter you up or pander or any of that, bro. I really like your presentation. Y'all go check out Evil CJ, man. I got another video coming, Lord willing. Forensic Frenzy, man. She has a few videos I like. One especially where she broke down You know, she pulled up the live camera feeds around Moscow and Pullman. Y'all know I can't talk. And she went through that. I think, you know what I mean, that's worth checking out. So that's Evil CJ and Forensic Frenzy, man. Y'all know I'm not a major fan of YouTubers. I'll watch them, but, you know, you never really heard me shout out any YouTube channel in my videos. So thank y'all for watching and tuning in. I looked up Karen, man. I know I said that. I don't gotta ask if I said that. You know, Maddie's mom, man. I looked her up, bro. I didn't see anything. So, like, once again, a stark contrast where you have, you know, one mom who seems to think everything is about her and won't shut the hell up, and Stacy. You have Christy G, who seems to have 4 or 5 personalities. We don't know if she's just hyper and needs to take some Ritalin or if she's on some type of intoxicant. No shot at her. I'm just being a little too audaciously trolly there. I shouldn't have probably said that, but I'm just saying. Then you got Steve, who was hyper over here. Like, damn, homie, we kind of looking at Steve. Was one of the first parents I was looking at sideways, but I didn't say anything out of respect for their loss. You know, people grieve how they need to grieve. And then I finally did say something and found out other people had questions about him, and now we kind of looking at him like, damn, dude, but is you just a puppet? And, you know, Christy is the one really calling the shots. And then, you know, so then you got Ben, who sits down by himself even though he's married, you know what I mean? And then you got Karen, Maddie's mom, who the only time I seen her, you know, in a speaking situation, she let Maddie's stepdad speak, which is no problem with that either. But once again, like I said earlier in the video about, you know, Ben's wife. Ben is Maddie's dad. Why wasn't she there? Why wasn't she around? And I wasn't asking that question in an accusatory way. I'm not saying or asking this about Maddie's mother, Karen, in an accusatory way. It's just a question that pops up. She may very well be what y'all always think all men are when we can't get a word in. She may just be a person who's not talkative or able to find words right now, or any, you know what I mean, number of reasons why I haven't heard much from her. And once again, it very well could be because I'm rushing to make a damn video, because the way my thoughts are, if I don't get them out when I'm having it, it's going to be a bunch of mashed up donuts that I just didn't research enough to find where she had said anything. So if you guys have heard Maddie's mom, Karen, speak or share her thoughts or her feelings or whatever, please link me, you know what I mean, in the comments. Stop saying you can't share links on YouTube. I've done it several times. I did it several times yesterday and the day before. But yeah, if you don't mind, link me on Twitter. Most of y'all know where to find me at. I would like to hear what she has to say. I definitely would. This is a huge point, man, for me. And damn well, I mean, it's the last note on my paper. You know what I mean? I may say some more, but it's the last note on my paper. Let me look before I get, you know, deep into this one, because I plan to get deep into this one. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Shout out to y'all once again for watching. Shout out to everybody who shares, who likes, who subscribes, because I don't really be like, share, subscribe. Y'all just do it. So thank you for that. Once again, Evil CJ and Forensic Frenzy, her video about the cameras around, you know what I mean, the tragedy era, I found, you know what I mean, her video was very insightful and worthwhile to watch. I don't see anything else, so let me get into this, man. I think this is a perfect, you know, this isn't something that I created. This is something I'm just going to get commentary on. At 26:47, the 26:47 mark in this video, sit down with you know, Maddie's father, man. The interviewer asks Maddie's father, Ben, specifically, and let me stop saying Maddie's father. I just want you guys to be sure who I'm talking about. Let me say his name. He has a name, and it's Ben. The interviewer asked him very specifically, how are you getting through Father's Day, you know, and holidays, and, you know, et cetera, now that you have to adjust to your daughter not being here in the way that we arrived at this occasion? It was after her father read a Father's Day card, you know what I mean, that Maddie wrote him. And in the Father's Day card, man, you know, I got a couple of clips I want to play, so I don't know which ones I'm going to ultimately put in this video, but by the time you're listening to it, you have already seen the intro clips, and Lord willing, if you watch to the end, you will see the outro clips. But he put the humanity, but he rehumanized his daughter for me, man. You know what I mean? And I needed that. I think we all do. And I could tell, man, that, like, she seemed to have an affinity for I love the fact that she definitely seemed to love her father. It wasn't just a manual, a mechanical Father's Day card. She talked about things that she wanted to do. She let it be known that she couldn't wait to spend time with her father. There were multiple things that she would like to do for them two to do together. You know what I mean? She enjoyed her father. She appreciated her father. She thanked her father not only for believing in her, but also she appreciated him for how far he had come in life. He mentioned his addiction. He mentioned being sober. He mentioned this not making him fall back off the wagon. Shout out to you, big dog. I pray that is true, man, because something like this very well could put you in that type of a dark place. So praise God if it hasn't. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for that. And I pray for you and your family and everything you're going through. So he read this Father's Day card that his daughter wrote him. And it attests once again to his strength, because damn it, I couldn't have got halfway through the first word. He read the whole card, man. This man got damn near superhero strength. I don't know, bro. I'm soft as hell. I mean, I cried. The interview said he cried. You know what I mean? I didn't cry. I'm one of the tough guys, so I stopped the tears from falling. But damn, I'm just sitting there when he read that card. I'm already messed up through the whole interview, watching his father talk about losing his daughter. And I know as a man what I would feel like if I wasn't there to protect my child. That shit got me fucked up. And then you're going to read a card she wrote you for? Come on, bro. You killing us. But he did it. Admirable strength for anybody, specifically this man, because this is who we're talking about, praise God. So this is the lead into the interviewer asking him, okay, well, how are you getting through Father's Day? It was the first holiday out of his damn mouth. And then, but obviously, because he just read a Father's Day card, right? And then he went on to, ask about holidays. It was all in one sentence. Well, how are you getting through Father's Day and Christmas and, the holidays with Maddie being gone? Sips water. I don't kiss no ass either, y'all. I like y'all. I appreciate y'all. I banter with y'all back and forth. But I'm the type of person, as soon as I get any type of vibe from somebody, whether it be online or offline, I back the hell up. Because I know me, I'm a personable person. I'm respectful. I mind my business. You know what I mean? I'm likable. As long as, I can be an asshole too. Now, we all got asses to kiss. Lord forgive me. But I'm just saying, because there's certain things I be, if I'm talking, whatever, damn it. I back up. It got to be apparent to me. If it ain't apparent, I'm gone. I know that was random as hell. Let me get back. How are you getting through? This answer the man gave, Ben gave, is exactly what I'm talking about when I hear mothers speak. If you're sensitive, you get offended like that. Obviously, I'm not talking about all mothers, but the Stacys of the world who think it's appropriate to mom every damn thing up. Every woman isn't like that. Some of you are wonderful women, at least in this category, because you said it in the comments. It's crazy how she treat that man. It's disrespectful. You go read the comments on the last video. So obviously, I'm not talking about all women because I read this. I'm talking about the Stacys of the world that feel like it's appropriate to mom everything up. Mom should be the priority. Mom should this. Mom, man, kids, whatever. His answer to this damn question that I'm delaying getting to is exactly what the hell I'm talking about, in contrast to the Stacys of the world. The interviewer for the 5th time asked him, how are you? He didn't say how you're faring. How are you, father, sir, getting through Father's Day and all these holidays now that your dad go? Being damn near, like Stacey, he damn near in this regard didn't let the interviewer finish asking the question. You know what he said his answer was? His immediate answer. Like, the man didn't even stop and think. He didn't stutter, he didn't mutter, he didn't stumble, he didn't do none of that. His immediate answer was to the question. I need you to remember the question so you can get the impact of the answer. How are you, sir, getting through Father's Day? His immediate answer were, we're Negro. We're. Somebody else said that. Shout out to you, young lady. You know who you are. You told me to try the wine. I looked it up. I got to say it on my phone. Hell, I might go buy it today, Lord. I'm not a wine person. I'm not an alcohol person at all. But, that wine did look good. Late night, sometimes you want to sip. She said, I see that too. How she was talking about Stacey. I, everything. Mom, everything. I see that in daily life and I don't like it. And I was like, yeah, I do too. A lot of people it doesn't seem to register to them. And when it does register, they don't seem to mind. The I, mom thing. Go watch Stacey's interview. I got to drive this home so y'all can get it. You got one person over here, when someone's asking them a question about a tragedy that their family has suffered, they have to remind themselves mid-sentence multiple times to stop saying I. And then over here, you got someone that was specifically asked about themselves. It was not selfish of that interviewer to ask Ben how he as a father. He asked him about it. They talked about his, Katie, Maddie's aunt, Maddie's grandmom and everything. Grandma got a nickname. Maddie, the May and Maddie May came from his sister. I think it was Ann May or something. So it ain't like they didn't leave the rest of the family out. But in this moment, he was talking about the father and they weren't wrong. And immediately this father made it about everybody, guys. Everybody. I'm not speaking condescendingly here when I say to you guys, I don't know how the minds who don't think like that work. You can't act, especially in tragedy. Damn it, I don't put me, if I'm a Christian, I'm sorry I'm not a perfect Christian. I'm a Christian because I need Christ to perfect me in my imperfection. I know that I'm not trying to be wise and old Socrates. I'm broken as hell, so I need Christ in every area of my life, every day, 24 hours of the day to put me back together, because I'm going to fuck something up out here. I promise you, you can see it in 3D if you knew me. I need Jesus. This is the bottom line. That's why I'm a Christian. And in my faith, I'm instructed to always put others first. To think of love my neighbor like I love God. I got to put him, and the reward in that is God will take care of me. I'm good. Be obedient, I'm good. So that's the primary reason I think like that. And I don't understand people who are okay themselves or okay with others eyeing it up all the damn time. That's backwards as hell to me. That's counterproductive to me. So when I heard that, man, I was like, that's exactly what I'm talking about that I have a problem with Stacy. Not how she handles her grief, but she thinks it's okay to make it. Shout out to Forensic Frizzy all the time. She said it on Twitter. This wife is perfectly fine with her husband being left out. I got a problem with that. Contrarily, this father was specifically asked about how he's doing, and his immediate thought when he thought about himself was his family. He didn't leave himself out. He said we. But he didn't leave his family out. He said we. And when you hear me talk about Stacy, that's my gripe with her, guys. Let me reiterate this because that's the final point. Rest in peace to Maddie. For some reason, I've started feeling like she's kind of left out, like Ethan in a sense. And maybe it's because her parents don't speak as much, right? But we hear about Zaina. Maybe, I'm telling you, we hear about Zaina. Zaina's damn near kind of everybody's favorite, right? And we definitely hear about Kaylee because, the G's, they always, they're going hard for their daughter, right or wrong. And we do hear about Maddie because they do also mention Maddie, the G's, right? But I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. In my mind, it seems like she's kind of left out, like Ethan a little bit. So I specifically, when I thought about that, I said, nah, man, we got to give Maddie her proper due. And that might not even be the right words I should use, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, nah, she was part of this tragedy. She was a real human. She has real loved ones. She deserves to be remembered. And to be fair to you, the way her dad describes her, and yes, there could be some bias. And hell, I could have been drawn into the bias and brainwashed by it. But she really sounded like a wonderful young lady. You know what I mean? All of these kids, man, I don't give, and I'm not going to say I don't give a damn, but if they were just making, growing into my mature adulthood life mistakes throughout, I can't really hang them over any rails for that, guys. I can't. Like, I seen a post on Facebook today, what is it hard for the youth to understand? I don't really think it's hard for this generation to understand the damn thing. I think it's hard for older people to understand we ain't got all the damn answers, and we made some of the same mistakes the youth of this generation are making when we were their age. Stop acting like high-minded know-it-alls, man. You really just come off like an asshole. I'm not mad at these. I haven't heard anything about these kids and some of the suspicions I got about the lives that they were probably living as young adult college students, man. I can't crucify any of them from anything. It's all suspicions right now. Unless we hear that they were out here doing horrendous things to other people, man. I can't blame them for being human, man. And I just want to reiterate this point. I think Ben gave us all a lesson, man. You don't have to leave yourself out, but you don't have to leave everybody else that should be considered out either. How are you, sir, getting through Father's Day and these holidays now that your daughter is gone? We are still figuring that out. Rest in peace to Maddie May. Y'all be safe.
Tell us the story about the angel wing.
Well, my sister, Katie May, Maddie May has her middle name because of my sister, Katie May. So, and they had a special connection too. So Katie, my sister, got this, had this made for me, and it says Madison May Mogen, and it says love always on the fourth side. And then my mom got me a little silver angel wing to remind me that Maddie's always with me. So I wear those every day, and yeah, that's that and my wedding ring are my only jewelry that I wear.
Yeah. You talked about she's always with you, and you and I chatted about what we would call maybe a wink from Maddie over the last year. Do you feel her presence occasionally?
Yeah, I do. And when I feel that she's looking down on me or that she's there with me, I I say it out loud. I say, I love you, Maddie, or I say, hi, Maddie, or something like that, so that maybe she can know that I'm thinking about her and how often I think about her. There's not a, she's always on my heart. And, so I tell her hi multiple times a day.
So what did you bring?
Oh, this is my wife's Halsey poetry book, but
What's this?
I came across this after everything happened, and Maddie gave me this on the last Father's Day that she was here for, and it says, Happy Father's Day to a dad who has everything: ability, looks, charm, talent, personality, and me. Love you, Dad. But then what she wrote, Happy Father's Day. I hope you have the best day. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. I'll be in Coeur d'Alene on the 4th of July. Hopefully we can find a time then. I loved your birthday card you sent me, by the way. Maybe we can see a concert sometime soon. I'd love to see the gorge when it's not so smoky out. I hope you're doing well. I'm proud of how far you've come. Thank you for always encouraging me to do my best. Love you lots and lots, Maddie May. When I found this card, it made me so happy, and I'm so glad that I have it, and I'll just treasure it forever.